Welcome everybody to my quick video of how I make my porcelain brooches. I cut around my traced out shape. The clay is about 3 mils thick, so it's really thin. Once it's hardened sufficiently to retain its shape when I pick it up, I take a damp sponge and wipe all the little jagged edges off before starting to apply the underglazes. When the horse is dried sufficiently, I sketch out the pattern that I'll paint onto it with a pencil. The pencil actually burns off in the kiln, so it will disappear and won't be seen afterwards. The underglaze is applied in 3 layers. It's very time consuming and a very fine brush is used. The little horse will shrink about 10 to 15% in the kiln firing, so everything that you paint on will shrink down slightly and you'll get even better detail as it compresses on itself. You'll see I apply my color glaze first, then the black detailed glaze which outlines all the colors. If there are any spots where I have gone onto the clay with my underglaze that I didn't mean to, I can take a scalpel and scratch it off at this stage before it goes into the bisque firing. This will be the first of 3 kiln firings that the brooches will go through. Now that the little beads have gone through the bisque firing, they get washed off, all the dust gets removed before another 3 layers of clear glaze is applied to the brooches. The backs of the brooches are wiped with a damp sponge once again. You don't want any glaze underneath the brooch where it touches the kiln shelf. The brooch will glue itself to the kiln shelf if that glaze is left between the brooch and the shelf. The brooch will go back into the kiln for its second firing now, after which we will clean it with alcohol so that the gold luster can be applied. The gold luster is finely ground up 22 karat gold held in a suspension so you can paint it onto your bead. It gets put back into the kiln for its final firing, and now it's ready to have its fitting applied to the back of the bead. I apply Gorilla Glue, which needs to be put under pressure for a few hours to adhere that little fitting onto the back of the brooch. And here we have our final product, our little horse and cheeky fox.